and that's typical of all meetings. We are broadcasting live due to the public health concerns related to COVID-19, and our board members are participating remotely tonight. So I will just say one thing about the agenda. There is one adjustment to the agenda. There's an item that would typically be done at the first meeting of each year that did end up on this agenda, but I would recommend that just based on being consistent with the bylaws of the BZA, we should push that back to 2021, and that would be the election of officers. So I have recommended that. But so otherwise, like I said, we have the approval of the minutes from August 11th and just an overview of some of the roles of the BZA and an overview of the BZA's schedule for 2021. So that that's actually the schedule overview is the new business item, and then we'll move. The last item will be an overview that I'll provide. So with no further ado, if Chair Grissett would like to initiate the meeting, and then we can call the roll for tonight's meeting.
Thank you very much, Dan. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It's exactly 7:02. Could we all put our hands on our chest, right hand on your chest, please, say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all.
Okay, we'll have the roll call at this time, and I don't know if we have a secretary here tonight. Dan?
Yep, I can do the roll call. It's Tammy.
Okay.
Aaron Sellers, absent, excused. Amos Grissett,
Present.
Donald Boynton,
Here.
Kevin Martin, John Haas,
Here.
John Herman,
Here.
Charles LaRock,
Present.
Brian Kelly,
Here.
Dan Power,
Here.
Matt Best,
I believe Matt and Elizabeth are potentially not attending tonight.
okay.
Thank you, Tammy. Next, we'll have the acceptance of the agenda that we have tonight. Can someone make a motion for the acceptance of the agenda?
So moved.
I'll make a motion that we amend the agenda and delete item number 2 of the new business, election of officers, to the next meeting in 2021.
Okay.
Second.
Tammy, can we record that? Do we have a second for that?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Why don't we just have a roll call right quick? We'll do it the old fashioned way, and that way we make sure everyone gets it.
Okay.
Tammy?
John Herman,
Yes.
John Haas,
Yes.
Charles LaRock,
Yes.
Brian Kelly,
Yes, but I have a question, order question. So if I'm the alternate and Don's here, what capacity are we sitting in?
Thanks for the clarifying question. And this is a transition time, as you all know. Board Member Boynton has moved on to the trustee position with Board of Trustees. So technically, he has his role on the BZA is transitioning out. So I did want to invite him tonight, so we all had a chance to give him a proper send-off. But as of right now, that means that the main alternate to the BZA for purposes of tonight's meeting will be you, Mr. Kelly. So
Okay.
You'll fill the voting roles tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yes,
Was that a yes or no?
support, yes.
Amos Grissett,
Yes. Okay, with that being accepted, could we have a motion for the agenda tonight? To
I
accept
motion
with the
that we
amendment.
accept the agenda for tonight as amended.
Can we get a second?
Support.
Okay, roll call.
John Herman,
Yes.
John Haas,
Yes.
Charles Larock,
Yes.
Brian Kelly,
Yes.
and Amos Grissett.
Yes. Okay, thank you. With the agenda being as is, we will move to the minutes that we had in August. I think it was August when we had our last meeting. Would like to, are there any amendments to the agenda, to the minutes that we had? If not, let's have a motion for them.
I make a motion, please.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Let's do a roll call.
Yeah, roll call, please.
John
just-
Herman,
Yes.
John Haas,
Yes.
Charles Larock,
Yes.
Brian Kelly,
Yes.
Amos Grissett.
Yes, and Dan, you seem to have had a question.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Just acknowledging Aaron Sellers has joined our meeting, so he'll be, looks like he'll be present for the remainder of the meeting, but there's no issue at all with proceeding as chair for purposes of tonight's meeting, so.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, since we've had the agenda been moved and second and okayed, let's move down to correspondence. Do we have any correspondence, Mr. Director? Dan?
No correspondence in advance of tonight's meeting.
Okay, all righty. We have any unfinished business? Seeing none, we have none. And the new business that we had set aside for tonight was to, it's a two-part. And since we're having two parts of it, we need to go ahead and go into that. Can someone offer a motion to open for the new business?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
John Herman,
Yes.
John Haas,
Yes.
Charles Larock,
Yes.
Brian Kelly,
Yes.
Amos Grissett,
Yes.
Aaron Sellers.
Yes.
As we mentioned earlier, there's one portion of the new business that we will not get into tonight, which is the election of the officers for 2021. Being that it's still 2020, we will not do that. We will do that sometime the first couple of months in the new year. But tonight we will talk a little bit about the meeting schedule. And if all of you have your paperwork that you had there, you will look through it. And I didn't write that down. I should have. I don't know what page is on here, but it's a page in here that has
Page
all the
7.
schedule for 2021. Can anyone tell me right off the top?
That would be page 7.
Page 7, yes. If you look on that, you'll see the schedule for 2021. So if you would, be
Order.
cut, I'm sorry.
Is the motion in order?
Yes, there will be, just 1 minute. I just want to make sure that we look at that first and have any questions about it before we make a motion. Since this is the second Tuesday of the month that we normally have our meetings, as you can see, we have all the meetings scheduled for the second Monday, I'm sorry, the second Tuesday of each month. So now, John, we do have a motion in order.
I would like to make the motion that we approve the agenda as presented for the next calendar year's meeting.
I second.
Roll call.
John Herman,
Yes.
John Haas,
Yes.
Charles Larack,
Yes.
Brian Kelly,
Yes.
Amos Grisette,
Yes,
Aaron Sellers.
Yes.
thank you very much, Tammy. Next, we have announcements or comments or anything else that we need to discuss tonight. Do we have anything, Dan, that we need to discuss tonight, any of you, before we get to the overview?
I'll go through my overview. Then I would suggest just to make sure we cover this on the agenda. We'll want to have open a public hearing for any new non-new business items, but I think we can do that after this. With that, Mr. Chair, if you'd like me to, I can start with my overview.
Please do.
Thank you. So this has been a year that's been disjointed in many ways for a lot of public processes. And with the BZA, to some degree, there have been fewer activities that have prompted your review, and that may be related to the kind of slowdown of certain building activities, or it may not be. But the BZA has met infrequently this year simply because there have been few requests for variances. There were 3 variance requests processed by the BZA by 2 applicants, and there was a request that had been withdrawn, but prompted a meeting before it was withdrawn. So I just, as we look forward to the next year, I wanted to talk about just to make sure that we have some materials to go into the next year with, and some things to look over as you get ready for another meeting cycle with potentially more cases next year. The first thing I have in the packet is just a little summary of the BZA's roles. The Board of Zoning Appeals helps to interpret the zoning ordinance, and it helps to evaluate appeals from zoning rules by myself and the building official, and I act as the township zoning administrator. And it also responds to requests for variances. This is kind of an overall summary. I know that from time to time we have extensive trainings, and I know that in late 2019, our principal planner, planning consultant, Vidya Krishnan, did a thorough training on the BZA's roles, and we can certainly do something like that in the future. That's not what I'm doing tonight. I'm just going over a few high points. But so your roles relate to variances and appeals and interpretations of the zoning ordinance, where perhaps some terminology is in conflict and maybe is ambiguous. You can help to play a role in how the zoning gets administered and interpreted. The standards for variances are included in the packet I've presented tonight. There are standards for establishing what's called a practical difficulty, which should provide the basis for a dimensional variance, as well as standards for approval of variances that stand on their own. So I've provided that information again. I've also provided a copy of the rules of procedure, which are synonymous with the bylaws of the BZA, just so that we can have those at our disposal going into the new year. That contains information about your authority as a board, your membership, the officers, the administrative duties, the structure of the meetings, your obligations related to conflict of interest, and other duties. When we look at the opportunities and roles you have as a BZA member, we also encourage training, and there should be a minimum of 4 hours of training attended by BZA members in a calendar year. As we're aware of opportunities, we try to share them with you members of the BZA. This year, again, has been unusual. There have been fewer trainings in general, but especially, of course, in-person trainings and meetings. There was a Spring Institute where there were various zoning classes that was canceled, and then but there are the Michigan Association of Planning and other associations and organizations try to make training available to board and commission members throughout the state. So looking forward to the next year, I'll be keeping kind of a running log and keep track of opportunities that I'll try to share more regularly for the next year. The public meetings procedures we've been able to work through that issue fairly well. The state of Michigan early on in the pandemic had enabled the remote meetings like the one we're having tonight. There, with the expiration or negation of the state of emergency in the state of Michigan, there was some question as to whether remote meetings could proceed. The Michigan House, Senate, and Governor signed into law the Public Act 228 of 2020, which allows us to continue meeting remotely through at least the end of the year, as we've been doing. There may be some more structure to how that has to occur looking into the next year, but as of right now, that's what we're going to operate based off of is the rules that are under that state act. And those rules say that we can continue meeting remotely given the circumstances. So we are likely to continue meeting remotely into 2021. But as we look forward to that, if development or a smaller single family residential project prompts something unusual that would require your review as a variance from the zoning ordinance, you'll certainly have the opportunity to meet again and go through your typical roles. I guess at that point, I will just open the conversation up. I invite you to read through some of the information in your packet about the zoning ordinance, rules regarding the BZA, the bylaws and rules of procedure, and feel free to sift through that and get back to me with any questions looking into the new year.
Dan, I do have a question. I know several of these sessions that maybe we are going to be having in the future, some of us have already gone to them. Are they going to be similar? Are they going to be the same? Are they going to be advanced? Are they going to be exactly how? Are they going to be beneficial?
Yeah, there's maybe some of you, I'm not sure who all has taken part in the zoning administrator training. That's a pretty regimented program, but with the programs offered by the Michigan Association of Planning, there's a wide variety of topics, everything to kind of more planning and design related and master planning, all the way to kind of the legal aspect of zoning administration. And they try to, they do a pretty good job of keeping the topics current and relevant. I know there's some good trainings out there right now about how communities are becoming winterized and winter friendly, especially in kind of the shadow of a pandemic. How do you make your communities engaging in the winter time in Michigan when we can't go indoors many places? So there's a wide variety of topics, and there's new topics coming in all the time. So though many of you may have gotten a lot of the kind of the standard training for zoning, there are going to be new opportunities and new classes you can take. I know there's a Winter Institute that's coming up, and I'm sure there will be other trainings in the spring. And after tonight's meeting, I'll be sure to share information about the trainings that I can get to.
Thank you very much. Anyone has a question or concern or comment?
Amos, I just want to thank Dan for putting that package together for us. It helped me refresh my memory and so on. So, especially since I didn't have to print it all.
Super. Yeah. Thank you.
Dan, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I want to thank you too, because I went over and picked that up and I'm going, gosh, I didn't realize it was 27 pages. I'm going, okay, that's cool. That's, you know. And if you guys have a comment, question, anything, Brian, you always have something to say. Come on, let me hear you.
Nope, I think I'm good tonight.
Good tonight. Okay.
Everything's great, and I'm looking forward to starting a new year.
Okay.
And I guess other than congratulating Don.
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations, Don.
Yes, very much so.
Thank you very
So
much.
besides congratulating Don, I do have a question as far as training. Is there any type of like distance learning or computer-based training that they would offer?
Yeah.
A lot of the seminars and conferences are going virtual. So there are virtual workshops you can attend. So
I have a question, Dan.
yeah.
Is everything in order for any of our terms that are expiring to be reappointed? Do we have to do anything for that?
That is something that's handled through the supervisor's office, and that's a pretty regimented process. They've been reappointing the members that are coming up for expiration in recent meetings. So they're handling that, but I'll make sure I let the board know if there's anybody who needs to do anything to connect if their term is expiring this year. But again, I think they've been doing that through the board meeting agendas.
Dan and Amos, the reason ones were really important. Amos is one of them that was reappointed, and a couple others. I forget who they were, but the board did approve the renewal for next couple of years, whatever the terms are. Okay, Amos can verify that.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I was reconfirmed anyway, so, but any other comments or questions? I'm certain that the supervisor will get in touch with you if he has to do it himself, because he did get in touch with me. So he's making sure the job gets done, whether he has to do it through you guys or through whomever, but he's doing it. So any more comments?
I have a general question, if it's okay, Amos and
Yes,
Dan?
it is.
All right. Dan, it's for you. Do we have an update on the senior housing on Belleville Road, Clover Communities? Is that the dead project, or I hate to see it gone dead by the wayside because of the facade, the brick facade? But did they come back with something else, or is this a dead project?
That's a very good question. There's things that materialize as site plans get developed, and as far as the BZA is concerned, you have fulfilled an important role in looking at the variance requests that we established in their initial application. There's another item that caused some redesign consideration and has put the project on a temporary pause that we're talking to the applicant about their options for, which relates more to the floor areas of the dwelling units and how those are laid out. So we will certainly let the BZA know if anything comes back to them regarding that project, but as of right now, it could go through a couple of different potential paths through Planning Commission review, but it was tabled by the Planning Commission after the public hearing back in September, so that issue could be addressed.
Okay, so the project is not completely dead.
That's right.
Okay, so we need some senior citizen housing, and I hate to see us kill the only project so far in the works.
No, that's unrelated to the BZA's role.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah, I'm fine with that, but don't need to come back to us. It just, I hate to see it die, that's all.
Good question.
Okay,
If I can just add my only other announcement before we maybe go to just a public hearing to make sure there's nobody who wanted to say anything about a non-agenda item. My only other announcement is just to thank Don Boynton. I'm the newbie here, but Don Boynton has been serving on the Planning Commission and BZA for quite some time. So I just wanted to congratulate Trustee Boynton on his new role, and I'll let you all know that he's moving on from the BZA for now. The board will be responsible for any reappointments from here on out. So he's so kind as to join our meeting tonight, and just wanted to let you know for now, this will be the last one. He can join any of them actually, but he's on his way out as a acting voting member of the BZA for now.
Were there any other things that we should have talked about, Dan, that we missed? Because I thought we covered pretty much everything.
That was it. We do have an agenda item that relates to public hearing for non new business items. So we should, that should be opened. I don't see that there's anybody.
Amos, make a motion and we open the public hearing then?
Second,
Roll call?
John Herman,
Yes.
John Haas,
yes.
Charles LaRock,
Yes.
Brian Kelly,
Yes.
Amos Grissett,
Yes,
Aaron Sellers.
Yes.
it's been approved. Okay, Dan, can you talk a little bit about that?
Unless we see somebody who wants to participate by raising their hand or using the chat function, then this has nothing to it. So I don't see any hands raised or anybody chatting on this topic. So you could make the recommendation to close the public hearing.
Recommendation, please, nomination, I'm sorry, motion?
I make a
Oh.
motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
Roll call?
John Herman,
Yes.
John Haas,
Yes.
Charles LaRock,
Yes.
Brian Kelly,
Yes.
Amos Grissett,
Yes.
Aaron Sellers.
Yes.
Okay. I think the only thing that we have last on the agenda is the adjournment, but before we do it, I'd like to go around the room and ask anyone if they have any comments about anything before we go. We'll
Yes,
start
I have
with you,
one
John.
comment. Excuse me.
Okay, go ahead, John.
I didn't know you were going to go in order. I can wait.
No, go ahead, please.
I just wanted to make the point that the spelling of my name is Haase, and I see it throughout the packet as Haas. So there's an E on the end of my name. That was it.
Okay. Tammy, I'm certain you'll do accordingly.
Absolutely.
John,
I
any
have nothing.
comments or anything?
No, I have nothing else.
Ryan?
I have nothing further this evening.
Okay. Mr. Boynton?
Well, I have no official comments. However, I do want to say that in the time that I have been associated with the BZA, I think all you cats are fantastic. You do a wonderful job. And I think that Dan Powers, he mentioned that he's the new kid on the block, but I think he does a fantastic job as well. And I think that all of us together, we make a very wonderful team. And I am proud to have been a sitting member on this board, both alternate as a official representative from the Planning Commission, and also as a regular old resident of the township. And trust me, you will see me at some of the future meetings. And with that, thank you so very much. I've learned a lot from you cats. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don. Charles?
Yeah, I won't belabor it, but I want to say thanks and good luck to Don. I consider him a friend and he's my neighbor. So hopefully I get to see him more than you guys, but Don, good luck. And yeah, we'll see you around.
All righty. All right. If that's it. Oh, I'm sorry, Aaron.
Hey guys, I'd just like to say thanks, Amos, for stepping up this afternoon and in my illness there. And then congratulations, Don. And I look forward to being on the board with you guys through 2021.
Sounds terrific. Sounds terrific. Dan, thank you so much. And did you have any final words?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's appropriate to ask Tammy, but Tammy?
I've got nothing. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we'd like to have someone make a motion for the adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
John Herman,
Yes.
John Haas,
Yes.
Charles Larock,
Yes.
Brian Kelly,
Yes.
Amos Grisette,
Yes.
Aaron Sellers.
Yes.
It's been a good night. Thank you so much. And we will see you in January.
Next year.
Next.
Look forward to it.
Good night, everybody. It's good
Have a
seeing
good night,
everyone.
guys.